My initial impression, y'all? Loudmouths like that need to get smacked in the back of the head. One time for the one time. It just took a little time for me to kind of gain a certain level of understanding. There's a lot going on in the 2K community right now. The hype for 2K24 is real. And what I've noticed over the years throughout my time playing 2K is that the hype for either the current iteration or the next comes from places that we never know they'll come from. Whether that's a league or a specific wager or a tweet that furthers the divide between casual and comp player and calls for changes that are absolutely needed on 2K. Now there's a saying out there, if it don't apply, let it fly, right? Well, in this case, it kind of somewhat applies, and I consider myself a casual type of competitor, where I'm not necessarily spending my life on 2K playing the game, but I do get around to practicing, spending hours in the lab, things like that, trying to learn new animations and combinations, learning how to lock down my jump shot. So this tweet from Isolation, Steezo the God, definitely does apply to me. Let's start out with the first paragraph because man, did he go on a rant. He says, gaming got ruined when they started letting casuals have a voice or giving an F about anything they say. They are casuals, they don't know ish. Their opinion or any catering to their liking should never matter. They don't play the game enough to know what's wrong or what should be changed. Firstly, I want to know if you guys agree with that statement. Should casuals have a voice on what happens with 2K? And honestly, I think that initial paragraph is exactly what stirred a lot of things up, but I think some things just got lost in translation here. Like I said on the outset of this video, I consider myself a somewhat casual type of competitor. And if by the slim chance 2K came to me and said, hey, what do you think should be changed about 2K? I would readily be able to share some of my thoughts. But in the grand scope of things, considering how much I invest of myself playing the game, I probably wouldn't want it to serve as so much of an impact. A lot of you guys may feel like I have good ideas. A lot of you guys may feel like my ideas just suck. But to go along with what Steezo mentioned, considering the scope of the entire community, all like gamers from all walks of life, from comp to casual, if 2K said thy will be done and start implementing all the ideas that I shared, I would most certainly feel uneasy. Because I am not the ultimate 2K gamer. I could only speak about like what I received playing the game from me, my own perspective. I don't know what the dad who works 60 hours a week feels like when he plays the game, or the guy who spends 22 out of 24 hours out of his day. I don't know playing 2K. I don't know what they feel. And what I'm saying here as a casual competitor on 2K, and by the way, my time playing 2K has dwindled down to damn near nothing now. I honestly wouldn't feel comfortable having 2K say, yeah, we're gonna take all your ideas and we're gonna implement them for 2K24. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. Now, if I was connected playing the game 22 out of 24 hours a day, or let's say 16 out of 24 hours a day, then maybe I would feel more comfortable with 2K taking my ideas and incorporating them into the franchise. Heavy be thy crown, I wouldn't want that type of weight on my shoulders or that type of heat coming my way from the community. You see, because no one man should have that power, or no one small group of people should have that power or influence over 2K. 2K is for the masses. I want to give a huge shout out to our homie AllCity Big Heck for sending me some audio from the Czar. He's a developer on 2K. He was speaking about game development and things like that. And he addressed the question from Badge Plug saying, how old are 2K players right now? And maybe his answer will help give some perspective and ground this whole controversy that's going on within the community. He said there is no way that 2K could pull the numbers that they pull without the game being multi-generational. You played a game as a kid, you still play it right now, you have a kid, and your kid is playing the game as well. And that helps me segue into this next idea that there is no comp player without the casual. You think you got on 2K for the very first time and was immediately a comp player? You think maybe because you spend a ton of hours playing the game that you exceed past the amount of time that developers spent developing the game? Most importantly, and what took a lot of years for me to realize, is that 2K's best interest is not in gameplay development for the sake of appeasing those players who invest the most amount of hours. No, 2K is a business, man, and the fact remains explains that there are way more casual players on 2K than there are comp players. And I understand that comp players may beg to differ. I understand your egos will let you think that you guys run the community and you guys should have the largest voice for the community. And that goes the same for a lot of you entitled casuals who think your voice should be heard for the entire community just because your selfish ways want the gameplay changes to cater and accommodate you to play at the same skill level as a person who invests so much time playing the game, so much time learning the game. You guys should not play at the same level. And while you idiots, you big goofies are out there arguing amongst each other, 2K is out there breaking sales records. The CEO is out there buying a private island for his family with his bonuses from the microtransactions that you guys give him. 2K is laughing all the way to the bank, as they should, because they mastered the art of business within this gaming environment. And don't get it twisted, y'all. I personally would love to see change in the gameplay for 2K. The difference is I just don't feel entitled enough for 2K to make that solely for my benefit. The comp player, the casual player, their mind state, they're worlds apart on 2K. And I would love to see these numbers, but I could almost guarantee, and you guys let me know your thoughts about this if you feel differently. I'd bet your bottom dollar, not my bottom dollar, but I'd bet your bottom dollar in a second that the casual player community on 2K makes way more money for 2K than the comp community. And I'm talking about the individual players who actually commit to making microtransactions on the game. And as we stand right now, 2K microtransactions make more money for 2K than the actual unit sales of the game. And if casuals are gonna lead the way for 2K to maximize their profits, best believe they're always gonna accommodate the casual. And just because your egos have inflated your head to thinking that you're bigger than the program, y'all just be careful that you don't let it take you too high, because when that bubble pop and you realize that your opinion means nothing, it's finna be a long way back down to reality. Now, I feel I've gone on long enough, touched on some key points to hopefully ground the community perspective. And I just want to mention one quick thing before we leave. If a gaming community, or for that matter, any community, wants their voices heard, the best ways to make that happen is by moving as a collective. It's been the history in our country. So if you guys really want change, the first steps that we should be taking as a community is, one, to find common ground, bridge the gap, and compromise to a point where players from both sides of the community feel comfort in the accommodations made to gameplay changes. There needs to be a conversation had. There needs to be understanding from the casual gamer as to why does this comp player want these type of changes, and vice versa, the comp player to the casual thinking, why does this casual want these type of changes? When you're able to get a good list of those things, pushing your ego to the side long enough just to be receptive to what the other is saying, and then we'd have the power and the opportunity to get our voices heard. We'd be able to get those changes that make the game fun for the casual and comp player alike. Truly appreciate you guys taking the time to hear me out. Y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K23 news, information, and updates coming your way. Y'all be sure to drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream.